My dear friends, my friend, let me begin with a truth that may stir your heart. Life does not break us, it simply asks us questions. Questions that whisper at night when the world is quiet. Questions that pierce through our excuses and shine a light on the dreams we've buried under fear, doubt, and limitation. And if we dare to answer them honestly, they will unlock a strength we never knew was inside us. Have you ever stood at the edge of a dream and felt the chains of your own doubt pull you back? That's the very moment when the right questions can set you free. You see, the difference between those who stay trapped in the same old patterns and those who rise to greatness is not chance. It's not luck. It's the courage to face the right questions. Questions like, what's really holding me back? Am I living someone else's story or writing my own? Do I want comfort or do I want growth? These are not easy questions, but they are the keys that break limits. Every dream you hold in your heart is waiting for you to confront these questions. And the truth is, you don't need more time, more money, or more talent to start. You need clarity, hunger, and belief. When you start asking the right questions, your excuses sound smaller, your fears lose their grip, and your faith begins to roar louder than your doubt. That's when dreams stop being distant wishes and start becoming daily steps. So today, I challenge you. Don't run from these 10 questions. Embrace them. Don't fear the answers. Live them. Because the power to break your limits and build your dreams has never been outside of you. It's been sitting in your choices, in your courage, and in your willingness to confront the truth. Answer boldly, live fully, and you will discover that the life you've been chasing is waiting on the other side of the questions you've been avoiding. My friend, let me tell you something powerful. Questions are not just words, they are doors. And the moment you dare to open them, you find a strength inside yourself you never believed existed. Too often, people live their lives on autopilot, repeating the same routines, carrying the same doubts, and settling for the same limits. They don't realize that the reason they feel stuck is not because they lack opportunity, but because they stopped asking themselves questions that stretch their vision. Think about it. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and asked, am I really living my best, or am I simply surviving? That kind of question shakes your spirit awake. It disrupts the comfort zone and forces you to face the truth you've been ignoring. And it's in that truth where your strength begins to rise. You cannot tap into what you refuse to confront, and you cannot confront what you won't question. When you start asking yourself the right questions, you give yourself permission to see possibilities beyond the walls of fear. Imagine someone who has always told themselves, I'm not strong enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not ready. That person lives behind a locked door of limitation. But when they dare to ask, what if I am stronger than I think? What if I've been underestimating myself all along? Suddenly, that door begins to crack open. Strength is not something you wait to feel. It's something you discover by questioning the beliefs that kept you small. Every breakthrough you admire in others began with a simple question that challenged their own doubt. That question became the spark that unlocked their hidden fire, the kind of fire that only comes alive when you refuse to accept the limits handed to you. You see, questions are the bridge between who you are and who you can become. When you ask, what would my life look like if I gave my best every single day? You stretch your imagination to a place you've never been. And once your mind sees a new possibility, it refuses to shrink back. The brain may argue, the fear may scream, but your spirit already knows there is more inside you. That's the beauty of powerful questions. They force your heart to wake up. They remind you that you are not a prisoner of your past or your current struggle. You are a builder of your tomorrow. Every champion, every leader, every dreamer who turned their vision into reality started by asking questions others were too afraid to face. And those questions unlocked strength they didn't even know was waiting. Let me say this with all the passion I have. The questions you avoid are the ones that hold the keys to your breakthrough. You cannot unlock strength by hiding from yourself. You cannot find courage if you refuse to ask, why am I still holding back? Why am I settling for less when I know I was made for more? These questions sting at first because they expose your excuses. They challenge your laziness, and they confront your fears. But that pain is necessary because it's the pain that leads to growth. Once you embrace those questions, you begin to walk differently, speak differently, and think differently. You stop carrying weakness as your identity and start carrying strength as your weapon. And that strength was never gone. It was hidden, waiting to be unlocked by the power of the right questions. The hardest person you will ever face in life is not the critic, not the competitor, and not the doubter standing across from you. The hardest person you will ever face is the one staring back at you in the mirror. And the truth is, most people avoid that confrontation because it demands honesty. It's easier to say, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have support, than to admit, I've been afraid, I've been distracted, I've been holding myself back. But here's the secret. Until you face your limits with honesty, you'll never find the courage to rise above them. The limits you see in your life are not unbreakable walls. They are beliefs cemented by repetition. Every time you tell yourself you can't, you're laying another brick in your own prison. But the day you ask, am I being truthful about what's holding me back, is the day those bricks start to crumble. Facing limits with honesty means you stop sugarcoating your choices and start owning them. If you've been procrastinating, be honest. If you've been chasing distractions instead of your dream, admit it. If you've been letting fear run your life, say it out loud. Because denial doesn't dissolve limits, it deepens them. Honesty may sting for a moment, but it heals for a lifetime. When you say, yes, I've been afraid, but I won't let fear lead anymore, something powerful happens inside you. You take your power back. It's no longer the situation that controls you. It's your decision that defines you. Think about it. Every transformation story you admire started with someone telling themselves the truth. They stopped pretending, they stopped blaming, and they stopped hiding. That raw honesty was the seed of their growth. The moment you face limits with honesty, you strip them of their authority. Fear thrives in the dark, but it loses its grip in the light of truth. Excuses sound convincing until you say them out loud and realize how small they really are. You might hear yourself say, I don't have time, but then you realize you've spent hours scrolling, talking, or doing things that don't move you closer to your vision. You might say, I can't do it, but then you remember the countless challenges you've already survived. You see, honesty doesn't weaken you. It strengthens you. It forces you to separate truth from lies, reality from illusion, and weakness from strength. And the more honest you are, the clearer your path becomes, because only when you know exactly where you stand can you take bold steps forward. I want you to imagine what would happen if, starting today, you faced every limit with brutal honesty. No more hiding, no more excuses, no more pretending. You would see fear not as a master, but as a signal that you're on the edge of growth. You would see failure not as a permanent mark, but as feedback pointing you forward. You would stop blaming your environment, your circumstances, or your past and start saying, it's my responsibility to rise. That shift alone will break chains you didn't even realize you were carrying. Because when you choose honesty, you choose power. When you confront your limits, you begin to stretch them. And once you stretch them, you realize they were never walls at all. They were doors waiting for you to walk through with courage. Dreams are beautiful, but they don't build themselves. They wait for your choices, and every choice you make either moves you closer to your vision or further away. Too many people live as if dreams are wishes tossed into the air, hoping fate or luck will do the work. But the truth is, dreams are built the same way houses are built, brick by brick, decision by decision, day by day. You can't build a mansion with excuses, and you can't build a life of purpose with hesitation. Every morning, you wake up with a question staring you in the face. Will I choose comfort or will I choose progress? Comfort will feel good for the moment, but progress will feel good for a lifetime. That's the bold choice. The choice to do what's hard now so life can be easier later. Every bold choice you make carries the power to shape your destiny. Think about it. The decision to step on stage when you feel nervous. The decision to apply for the job when you feel unqualified. The decision to start the business even when you're afraid of failing. Those are the choices that separate dreamers from doers. Bold choices don't always look big at first. Sometimes they're as simple as choosing to get up one more time when you feel like staying down. But in those small decisions, a stronger version of you is being built. It's not talent that creates champions, it's choices. And the more you dare to choose boldly, the more your dream stops being a far-off hope and becomes a living reality. Of course, bold choices are never easy. They require you to silence the voice of doubt and drown out the opinions of those who can't see what you see. They demand you to step into the unknown where fear tries to convince you that failure is certain. But here's the truth. Failure doesn't destroy dreams. Indecision does. The dream in your heart is waiting for you to decide that it's worth more than your comfort, more than your fear, more than your excuses. Every great achievement you admire today stands on the foundation of bold choices someone made yesterday. And the people who built those achievements were not fearless. They simply decided that their vision was greater than their fear. That's what courage is, not the absence of fear, but the choice to move forward anyway. So the question becomes, what choices will you make starting today? Will you keep choosing to shrink, or will you choose to rise? Will you keep choosing to delay, or will you choose to act? Will you keep choosing to play small, or will you choose to live bold? Your future is not waiting for a perfect plan, it's waiting for a bold decision. And the moment you choose to commit with all your heart, you unleash a force inside you that no obstacle can stop. That's how dreams are built, not by chance, not by waiting, but by choosing with courage again and again. Every bold choice is a brick, and with enough bricks, you will stand inside the life you once only imagined. It's one thing to ask yourself the right questions, but it's a whole different battle to live the answers. Anyone can dream, anyone can imagine, anyone can whisper to themselves, "One day, I'll do it." But few have the courage to say, "Today, I will begin," and then follow through. Living the answers means you stop talking about change and start walking into it. It's not comfortable, it's not easy, and it's rarely popular, but it's powerful. Because when you decide to live the truth you've uncovered, you move from wishful thinking to real transformation. If the question is, am I giving my best? And the answer is no. Then living that answer means waking up earlier, working harder, and showing up fully. It's not about perfection. It's about integrity. Courage is required because the answers you discover will challenge you. They'll push you to leave behind habits, people, or environments that no longer serve your growth. That takes guts, because comfort is tempting and change feels scary. But every time you honor the answers, you rise above your limits. For example, if you ask yourself, "Am I living my potential?" and the answer is, "I'm playing small," then courage means stepping onto a bigger stage, even if your knees shake. If you ask, "Am I choosing fear or faith?" and realize fear has been steering your life, then courage means you take action anyway, trembling but determined. You can't wait for fear to disappear. Courage is the decision to move forward while fear screams in the background. Living the answers will always cost you something. Your excuses, your laziness, your pride, maybe even the approval of people around you. But what you gain is infinitely greater: freedom, confidence, and purpose. The truth is, many people know the answers already. They just don't act on them. They know they should take care of their health, but they don't. They know they should pursue their passion, but they delay. They know they should be honest with themselves, but they hide. Knowledge without courage is wasted potential. The bridge between knowing and becoming is action, and every step you take, no matter how small, turns the answers into a lifestyle. That lifestyle becomes your character, and your character becomes your destiny. So the challenge is clear. Don't just ask, don't just know live. Live with boldness, live with integrity, live with courage. Because the answers you carry inside are not meant to stay hidden. They are meant to guide your journey. Every time you act on them, you expand your strength, you deepen your faith, and you prove to yourself that you are capable of far more than you imagined. The courage to live the answers is what separates the people who talk about change from those who create it. And the moment you choose to step into the answers you've been avoiding, you begin to write a new story for your life, one filled with victory, purpose, and unstoppable growth.